Hello and welcome. I'm Millicent Walker. Tonight, Nigerian army kills 16 Boko Haram insurgents in an encounter at Mairari village in Borno State. Federal government deploys 1,000-strong military forces to fish out bandits terrorizing villages and towns in Zamfara State. Minister of Information accuses leadership of the All Progressives Congress in Kwara State of anti-party activities, calls for its dissolution. Former President of Zimbabwe, Robert Mugabe, vows not to vote for his successor in the country's presidential election. We begin tonight with reports from the Nigerian army that it has killed 16 Boko Haram insurgents in an encounter at Mairari, a village in Monguno local government area of Borno State. The insurgents, who arrived in 3 vehicles, including gun trucks, were reportedly attacking the community when the troops were alerted by locals. The soldiers, supported by the Air Task Force, launched a counter-attack, killing 16 insurgents. 2 gun trucks and 163 rounds of anti-aircraft gun ammunition were recovered by the security personnel. 4 civilians and a soldier who were injured during the exchange have been taken to hospital. According to the army, the batch of troops have been reinforced while fighting patrols are on the trail of other insurgents who are on the run. In the meantime, the federal government, has described as a 1,000-strong military force comprising the army, the air force, police and civil defense to launch fierce attacks on the bandits terrorizing the villages and towns of Zamfara State. According to a statement by the presidency following directive by President Muhammadu Buhari, the Nigerian Air Force has begun the deployment of fighter aircraft to Katsina, the airport with the closest proximity to Zamfara State, to make for immediate and effective response to the menace of the bandits. The president has also authorized the engagement by NAF of advanced satellite surveillance technology to help in accurate detection of movement and locations of the bandits. The statement says the government had to go to this extent because of the limitations of conventional surveillance, as the use of satellite technology could make the task of NAF less problematic. Well, in Lokoja, the Kogi state capital, they have arrested a gang whose members are suspected to have been involved in recent attacks on Lokoja Highway and some other areas in the city center. The suspects were paraded at the State House, where Governor Yahaya Bello reiterated his commitment to making Kogi a hard ground for criminals.
These are suspected robbers who have impersonated military men by adorning their uniforms. Interestingly, they were busted by military men serving in the Command Army Record Lokoja. They've been brought to the Kogi government house to be paraded before the governor.
Right in front of them has been displayed as some of the exhibits. They were arrested alongside with them is one AK-47 with 1 magazine and 28 rounds of ammunition, 2 cutlasses, 22 assorted telephone, cell phones. Over 4 things were also recovered from them.
We're going to make sure that they face the full wrath of the law. The Nigerian police has been doing a lot as well. You can see the Fulani bandits that were arrested as well. In Kogi State, we spare nobody. We are cleansing the state of all forms of criminality, and today, this is the result.
The suspected gang leader gets the opportunity to tell his side of the story.
I saw this AK-47 for his hand. I asked him, how did they get it? He told me that is this guy community buy for her. So let us use it and get money. Personally, there is crisis from Benue State, when TV and Fulani. So then buy and give him to protect the villagers. I got to say the truth. I will say the truth. From this town, this is my first time.
One of their victims, who owns a barber shop, narrates the incident that may have led to the arrest of the gang leader.
Some days back, my shop was boggled. They went away with all my goods. I do laundry, barbing, and boutique. So they went away with everything, including my press iron and clippers. This previous Thursday, one of my boys that is working now came around, like, he saw this guy face to face. He pointed AK-47 to him that he should face the ground, and he threatened him and collected his phone and money and everything.
Governor Bello says he takes security of life and property very seriously and wants other state governors to be firm on fighting criminality.
Well, staying with security, Governor Darius Ishaku of Taraba State has joined the call for the establishment of state police in the country. The governor, who believes this will drastically reduce criminality in the country, was speaking when former Vice President Atiku Abubakar paid him a courtesy visit in his office in Jalingo, the state capital. Governor Ishaku cites the insecurity in his own state as a pointer to the failure of the Nigeria police to tackle the spate of insecurity across the country.
In America, where we copied the Constitution, there is a state police, there is a local government police, and there is a federal police. What is beyond the local government police, the state police steps in. What is beyond the state police, the federal police steps in. What is beyond the federal police, then that is when the attention of Mr. President is calling. But not everything that happens that has to be solved. I'm telling you, sir, if we had police under our command, I'm not saying that the police haven't tried. They have tried. In fact, they have over-tried. Because if they are given the real equipment and training and backup with funding, the police can solve any problem. But then how will you be, as they call you, executive governor? Executive of what? We are handicapped. We are toothless, lame bulldogs.
Yes, sir.
And I want to thank the Senate and the House of Reps. And I want them to do quickly and put into law to the state police. That will give teeth to our sitting here. That will also arm us to stop the senseless killings that are going on.
And the senator representing Kogi West at the National Assembly, Senator Dino Melaye, is accusing the police of withdrawing his security aids despite surviving 4 assassination attempts. The governor is a senator, rather, who has been in the news lately over his whereabouts, told journalists in Abuja that he was attacked by gunmen on his way to Kogi State to cut sermons. He also describes as false claims by the Nigeria police that none of his relatives reported the attacks to the police.
I was going to attend to my court sections in Lokoja. Shortly after Babalada, that Sienna bus and that Ilos that had been warned about the night before also created a barricade and started shooting sporadically. I would just say through the grace of God, not by wisdom, by knowledge or anything, through the grace of God, I saw a tree and I climbed it. I was on that tree when I saw 4 of them passed. After a while, they passed again. I was in that bush, I was in that wilderness for 11 hours, trekking to nowhere. I don't even know where I was going to, only to burst out on the roadside, and eventually I found my way back to Abuja. Then, apart from the fact that they are saying no family member reported, there is this opinion. They said nothing like that happened. Dino is running from court. That's why he did not attend. That's why he framed up. But, I mean, wisdom, logic will tell you that I've attended that court 3 times before that day. And I have never missed any of my court sections. I have been arraigned by this government, by the federal government, and police put together 5 arraignments. And I've never missed any of those courts. Any court I've not missed.
To politics, the Minister of Information and Culture wants the National Executive of the All Progressives Congress to dissolve the party's state executives in Kwara State. The minister, who is accusing the state ESCO of anti-party activities, insists the officials no longer enjoy the confidence of the party at the national level following their claimed loyalty to the President of Senate, Dr. Bukola Saraki.
This is the Balogun Fulani-led state executive of All Progressives Congress a few days ago, pledging their loyalty to the Senate president.
It's left for the Senate president, Hidina Sirata al-Mustaqim. May God Almighty guide him aright. So we, as far as we are concerned, in APC in Kwara State, we believe in his leadership. So we are waiting for his directive.
Not the guys.
Without missing words, the minister says since the party's state executive has taken a position, they should let go of all federal appointments as well.
From the look of things today, we've seen that they are no longer with us in the party. Such members should honorably resign, their appointments will be fired, so that the genuine members of APC can reap where they have invested.
And that position is also supported by the factional chairman of the party in the state, who insists the party needs to hold a fresh congress to usher in new executives for the party.
However, for the sake of those that will be coming in newly, to also give a level playing field to everybody.
The embattled ESCO, however, insists it's not over until it's over. In a statement by the State Publicity Secretary, the executive insists they remain the authentic faction of the party.
And to the aftermath of the continuous conflict between farmers and herders in different parts of the country, taking a toll on innocent citizens, mostly women and children. And many of these victims have become internally displaced, with over 2,000 in Mayo Belwa local government of Adamawa State. Well, the residents in these camps are worried that if the crisis isn't stopped, it could lead to more serious issues like famine.
Farmers-herders clash have assumed a worrisome dimension in recent times. Two neighboring communities, Bile Damsa local government and Bedda in Mayo Belwa of Adamawa State, were recently involved in a farmers-herders crisis, with many people killed, houses razed down and several others rendered homeless. Also not spared by the unrest are residents of Lao local government area of Taraba State, who were sacked from their communities and are now taking refuge in Gorobi and Mayo Belwa, both in Mayo Belwa local government area of Adamawa State. Those displaced as a result of the clashes between the warring parties are now living in public schools. Women, children and elderly are left to their fate in the Gurubi Primary School. This development has caused some worry for the residents of Mayo Belwa.
Most of our people are not going to the farm because of fear.
Our farms now, that we have left them. Some of the animals are even eating them. They have been eaten off by animals.
The camp manager and officials of the Red Cross speak on the situation in the camps.
In fact, they have been coming. In the first place, we could not even record them. They came, I think there are more than 5,000. So we just had to be managing them, because due to lack of accommodation here, some of them have to leave to other places or to their neighbors.
We always expect some influxes, because information is reaching others that are stranded somewhere else. The accommodation is provided here at the centers, and they do come in so that they will get the little aid brought by the government or other philanthropists.
The IDPs have been relying on the goodwill of fellow citizens to survive their ordeal.
It is our duty as elected representatives to bring succor, at least palliatives, to them. So that is why I have decided to bring some relief materials, so that at least these people can be able to feed. They are not in their houses. It is not our intention to have them here, but we will talk to our government to see to the reasons why these people's problems should be solved so that they can get back to their environment.
Thousands of people all over the country have been forced to flee their homes because of one conflict or the other. They hope that government will handle the situation in the shortest possible time so they can return to their normal lives.